What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, and it is great to have you with me in the lounge today. Now, look, if this is your first time to the lounge, just know that the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where you and me and our crew can get together and talk about all the things that we love. Things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, toys, and so much more. And if those are things that get you excited, then please hit that subscribe button and join this growing group of nerds. We would love to have each and every one of you here along with us. Now, today is a special day because we just finished our live stream, and as finishing that, our good friend William just got back from seeing Morbius, and so we're going to get his takes on that. And then, of course, with us also is Stella Baxter. Stella, good to see you.
Hello.
Or good to hear you, at least. So, William, you just saw Morbius. Everybody's in a turmoil about this. Everybody says it sucks. It's the worst thing ever. Sony's gonna implode over this. What are your thoughts, sir?
I liked it.
There you go. End the show.
Yay! Bye.
It is a flawed movie, and there are some things in it that really could have gone a lot better. It is an hour and 45-minute movie. It needed to be a little bit longer, and when you watch the movie, you'll see where the flow of the storyline seems kind of choppy and cut up. But it's carried by the performances of Jared Leto, who's yet to let me down, and Matt Smith, who he doesn't let me down either. My favorite doctor, and they pretty much carry it. The special effects, I thought the special effects were fine. I like the effect that they used for him moving around and him using his powers. The origin story from the beginning all the way to the end, I thought it was good. I actually liked this better than I liked Venom, the first Venom. And I really liked the first Venom.
Really?
So I didn't. I went into this knowing what the critic scores would be, but like I said, this only reinforced to me. And I know some of my critics buddies will watch this. Nothing personal, but when it comes to movies like this, critics and Rotten Score opinions really don't mean anything to me at this point. A lot of the things the horror stories I heard about this movie were grossly misrepresented, and depending on what you like to see in a movie. Now, the story structure is hurt by the fact that it really moves fast. As an hour and 45 minutes, and we've been fed a diet of 2 hour and 40 minutes, 2 hour and 25 minutes, and with the Batman, a 3 hour movie solid. So if that's the way your brain is wired right now because of that, then this movie might not be for you. It goes really fast, and it's over before you know it. The post-credit scenes, when taken out of context, they could be every bit the nightmare that people tried to make them out to be. But when put into the context, when I clearly saw what they were doing and where they were going, I didn't see an issue with them. They did need to do a better job of communicating what they are doing throughout the movie, though. Because the movie moves so fast, because there are gaps, and because it is choppy, it's written as if they assume that a first-time viewer is in on everything about this. And that's where the post-credit scenes don't make a lot of sense for people who haven't been there for that. But I got the feeling throughout the movie that they were telling a much wider story that wasn't represented right there in front of you. And that, depending on how you intake your story, might be an issue. I didn't have an issue because we live and breathe this stuff. So I got the context of everything, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, not the best movie ever. I wouldn't put it in my top anything, but not a bad movie at all. It was a fun movie. It was a fun movie. It was a good time.
I have a question for you. So Jared Leto can be very divisive at times, right? There's people who either love or hate his Joker. I love his Joker, but there's people who absolutely hate it. Well. Now, how did Jared Leto do in this role of Morbius?
I liked it. He added a little bit of different dimension. He added a little bit more normalcy than he does. A lot of his characters are exotic and wild and driven. He was more like a normal. I could relate to him. I could actually relate to Matt Smith at the beginning. So he was much more relatable in this movie than he's been in any of his other movies. The role wasn't so exotic to where he was doing his method acting. He was more relatable as Dr. Michael Morbius, and I could follow the character, you know.
Mm-hmm. Now, Stella, do you have any questions for William, who has just seen this thing that we have not seen yet?
No, I was just wondering if he liked it because, I mean, critics and people were already panning it, especially ones that hadn't seen the movie.
Mhm.
So that was my main thing because throughout the day, people who did see advanced screenings and stuff liked it. So naturally, we always wonder, will William like it? So that was my thing.
The story flow is different. The same people who don't like Eternals probably aren't going to like this because it's not really your standard fare in the story structure. And both the thing that Eternals and this has in common is that you're being told about a future meal, but it's not on the plate in front of you. And you have to have respect for that long form storytelling in order to really enjoy the movie, especially when it comes to the post-credit scene. There's something larger being told there, and they don't make sense. So that part is correct, but they don't make sense if you go into it not realizing that they're trying to tell you a much larger picture than just the bits and pieces that they're giving you. I had every sense that I'm going to get a little bit more as we get closer to certain things. But I think that this is the method that they chose to tell their story, and I don't have much of a problem. Like I said, flawed movie, not perfect by any means, but not a waste of time. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I would put it just above the first Venom.
Really, and I really love the first Venom. But of course, I liked Eternals as well. So
yeah, so did I. Everybody's subjective.
Yeah. So that now with the people that were at the theater with you, did you have a chance to run into anybody or talk to anybody on the way out? I mean, to gauge anybody else's opinions?
Not really. I mean, you could tell expressions. I mean, the people I was with, from what I could overhear, they enjoyed it.
Okay. And I mean, the general audience,
I was with the general audience, and I talked to some people who, like I said, on other continents that I communicate with. I haven't met a normal guy like me that hasn't enjoyed it. But the problem when it comes to this kind of critic, once you get that momentum of nonsense, everybody wants to be affiliated with certain things sometimes. And my group of homies didn't like it, so it has to be horrible. Instead of really going to see the movie yourself. Like I said, not perfect by any means. It does have its flaws. But it doesn't. It's not a step over movie.
And just thinking, Matt Smith. It's a good vehicle for him after Doctor Who and going into House of Dragons. You said he was
he's
doing
very
good
convincing. He's very convincing as that character.
Good. Yay! I'm happy.
Good. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm always of the mind that, look, I don't care what somebody else thinks about a movie. I want to watch it myself, because if I listen to what everybody else says, I wouldn't have seen half the movies that I absolutely love and are my favorite films. So,
exactly.
Like you said, film is subjective, and that's what we always say here around the lounge is, love what you love. We can argue about it. We can bounce it off each other all day long. But at the end of the day, we're still going to be friends. You're still going to like what you like. I'm going to like what I like. And we'll just go from there. You got one more? No, you got one more thing. What's up?
Yeah.
The law enforcement aspect of this movie is one of its biggest flaws. They don't add anything to the story. There wasn't anything, that they added to anything, and they just came off as buffoons. And these are agents or whatever the hell they were. They just, in my opinion, didn't add anything, at least as far as what I could see. Now, as these movies go on, and if these characters recur, when there's certain characters in there that you clearly see will recur, then, like I said, their story grows. But don't judge the overall initiative here based on what you see just in this hour and 45 minutes. They're telling you something much larger than that. And so maybe those characters that I thought, the law enforcement types, and you'll see them, that I thought were kind of buffoons and knuckleheads, they may have much more story to tell. But from the hour and 45 minutes I saw, every time I saw them come on the screen, I'm like, oh, these guys.
Now, William, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this film?
I would give this movie a solid 6.5 or 7. Like I said, I can't give it anything higher, not because it's a horrible movie, but because the storytelling it was a little bit disjointed. I can clearly tell that things were edited out of this movie, and maybe we'll get a director's cut. But the story didn't flow as good as it could have. But I would say I would say 7. I would go as high as a 7.
Okay.
I gave I believe when I gave Venom, when Venom came out, I gave Venom a solid 7. It suffers from the same problems that Venom has too, and there's some common sense things that you'll see in the movie that, just like in Venom, don't make any sense, no matter how long or short the story is. So you'll see those. So yeah, solid 7.
There you go. Well, hey guys, if you like William's commentary and you'd like to hear more from William, you can find him right here on the Poindexter Lounge, 2 p.m. Eastern, with Sci-Fi Center Presents on Monday. They do deep dive into comics and stories and things like that from the past. And then you can find him again here on Friday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern for Sci-Fi Center Live. And then, of course, all of our other shows here as part of the Poindexter Pantheon, because we're super fancy like that. And so we got a lot of great shows. And you can usually find me at the overnight show, 12 a.m. Eastern, or sometimes I sneak in an afternoon show here or there. Folks, we are so thankful for all of you and for what you guys mean to the lounge, and that you guys tune in. And so we would love to hear from you. If you go see Morbius, we'd love to hear from you what you think. Maybe you agree with William. Maybe you think that William's points are spot on and that he's great and that you love him. And man, you want to go out to Vegas and high five him and buy a bunch of his comic books out there at the Sci-Fi Center. And then maybe you absolutely hate his take. Maybe you think that it's absolutely awful and you don't want anything to do with William ever again. And you're just like, you just want him to go. No,
That's the thing.
no, it's okay. But you know what? Still be nice. Please leave a comment down in the comment section. Let us know what you thought of the movie. Let us know when you're going to see the movie. Are you excited about this film? Or is it one of those films that maybe you've already lost a little heart in already? You know, maybe you're just kind of done already. You know, there's been a lot of bad press. And like William was saying, sometimes if we let that get the best of us, we can really miss out on something special. So, well, William, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Stella, are you looking forward to seeing it?
Yes, I am now, for sure.
All right. Well, we're going to give our own takes on it, I'm sure, at some point here in the lounge. You can find us in all of our different panel discussions, giving our takes and our thoughts on stuff. So check out one of those. All of those links are in the description below, where you can find old videos, new videos, all that good stuff. And if you hit that notification bell, you'll be around when we put out those videos. So guys, like I always say, till next time, don't tell anybody that their fandom doesn't matter, and don't let them tell you that your fandom doesn't matter either, but seek to have good conversations. Have good conversations with people, and let's learn from each other. And you know what? Let's treat each other with some respect. And as long as you do that, there'll always be a place for you here in the Poindexter Lounge. Until next time, stay nerdy.